Hey, everybody, welcome to Retell Cellar, an ephemera podcast where I uncover forgotten stories and the ephemera people leave behind. I'm Angie, a reseller of 10 years, and I'll share one of those snippets with you. Let's see what today's find has to say. Today's find is a newspaper clipping from December 28th, 1980. It ran in the Journal Star out of Peoria, Illinois. And instead of a hard news story, it's about a cartoon cat we all know. I wish I could remember where I picked it up, but I have a total of 3 clippings, and I believe someone must have purchased 2 newspapers in order to get 2 images of the oversized Garfield. The 2 images of Garfield are surrounded by 4 smaller drawings of him, one where he looks nervous or scared, one where he's doing a lunge for some food probably, with his mouth wide open, another he's whistling while getting ready for a bath, and finally an image where he's just looking off with a smile on his face. The third snippet is that of a short article about Jim Davis, the creator, and on the other side of his story is the image of the whiskey barrel cradle I talked about in a previous episode, so be sure to check that one out too. The headline reads, Garfield, Nasty Cat Takes Public Fancy. At the time the article was written, Garfield was going on its 2nd year and becoming a cultural personality. Jim Davis, who had worked on the Tumbleweeds strip and being virtually unknown at that time, became somewhat of a sensation when it came to Garfield. He'd written a book, Garfield at Large, and went on tour, was on NBC's Today Show, and he admitted it was overwhelming. When asked if there was a role model for Garfield, he said, quote, I suppose, perhaps subliminally, there was Morris the cat, but that may be reaching. I think Garfield is just a composite of all the cats I've known, and a reaction against some of the more wishy-washy animal strips that I grew up reading, end quote. He said there are no cat owners, there are only cat people or cat fanciers. Davis talks about how Garfield's love of lasagna became such a defining trait, and joked that he really only put it in the strip because he himself loved it. He said, quote, transference, you might say, end quote. Then he mentions receiving a letter from a reader who claimed her own cat craved lasagna and that she had done some investigating and found most cats are pasta lovers. The article notes Garfield's growing fan base, with the top cities being Boston, Seattle, and San Francisco. So here's a cat who refuses responsibility, refuses growth, refuses discipline. He just wants food and naps because there's comfort in that. And I'm wondering if we really love Garfield because we see bits of ourselves in him, and maybe we wish that we could get away with some of his antics. I myself have been a dog owner my whole life, but I had cats when I was younger. When I was in my early 20s or so, I stayed overnight at a friend's house, and their cat slept with me, which I was 100% fine with, and that is until I woke up practically the whole house because of my sneezing. And I guess some years passed after that, and I forgot about the potential allergy, so we had a campfire at another friend's house, and I was petting their cat, letting it walk all over me, and I realized my eyes were starting to itch and swell, and in my inability to blame the cat, I thought they had to be throwing stuff in the fire that shouldn't be thrown in a fire. That was not the case, so I had to wash my hands, my face, and I went ahead and enjoyed the rest of the night. Even after all of that, I don't shy away from petting cats. I just make sure I wash my hands after doing so. So, are you a cat person, dog person, or just all-around animal person? And why do you think Garfield was such a hit? Thank you for joining me as I shared a snippet of the past. I'd love to know if it connected with you in some way. Did it spark a memory or make you see something differently? If so, consider sharing it. Be sure to check out the show notes for additional info, links, and ways to connect. It's not nostalgia, it's human. Until next time, may you find something worth holding on to.